Stream to start. There we go. Hey everybody, Gizmo here. Welcome to the channel. Got my libation. Hopefully you've got yours. Going to do a couple things here today. I want to kind of show one of the things that's been going on. I've been having a lot of problems with just kind of feeling like I'm getting any better at Call of Duty. I was doing a video before and it was kind of going, it ended up crashing. Actually, the whole thing crashed. So I don't know how well it's going to come out. So I'm going to do this whole thing over again, get rid of that one. I'll just start over again. So anyway, before we start, cheers. Welcome to the channel. What I was talking about before is that I used to be a pretty good player. When we first started doing Doom, in particular, Doom 2, I think it was, we were playing Doom 2 and Quake and really having a lot of fun. And we were playing on a local area network at my work. I worked at Hewlett Packard. And so we were playing at HP and everybody's having a lot of fun. It was really great. We got a lot more people involved and it was just really humorous and really engaging. But I was really good. But it was just keyboard only. So it was, just using the keyboard and you run around and you shoot people with the keyboard, the control key and all that. There was no elevation, no vertical at all. It was just you just ran around. That was it. So when I think it was Quake 2 came out, suddenly you had to be able to aim down. And I don't know if you ever tried aiming down using a keyboard, but it is really difficult. So anyway, I decided at that point, well, I have to switch over to keyboard and mouse. And so I made the switch and my KD suffered dramatically. I went from first place consistently, like every single game I was the best player in the entire match, down to about 5th or 6th consistently. But over a few weeks of playing it and really practicing and playing both, I inched that back up until I was again the dominant player in the group. And then when we went over to do things like Counter-Strike, where we were suddenly able to play against people outside of the LAN, I found that I was one of the best players there too. So, we would do Counter-Strike matches with my people that I worked with at the company I was working at Anarch in Boulder. And we would play people and we consistently just slaughtered them. We were one of the best clans in the Front Range, easily. And so, and then we got another couple of guys that were really, really good, like my level and better. Really challenged me on a regular basis. It would be like, they'd win 2 matches, I'd win a match, and then, the next one would be a draw. And it was like, oh, it was really good, hardcore, quick snipe. You got to be really good and that kind of stuff. But I was Buttercup in Counter-Strike, and I kicked ass. I loved it. Anyway. Making the switch over to console, though, has been a huge, dramatic shift. And so, first of all, I got one of these things. I mean, what the heck? There aren't any buttons on here. I can't click a mouse with my left. I can't move my whole controller to move my reticle. What the hell, right? So, it's been a dramatic change. And my abilities, I would say, have not kept up with where I think they should be, even with the new controller and all that stuff. So what I've been doing is trying to find ways that I can improve upon the quality of my gameplay. If you look at my guy right now, look at my dossier, you can see here I've got a 0.84 kill death ratio, which is not good. It's not the worst I've seen by far. But 3,400 kills to 4,100 deaths, it should be swapped at least, right? So when I was playing Ghosts, it was swapped. I was well over 1 point something, 1.2, 1.3, somewhere in that range. I think I got up to 1.5 at some point. And some matches some matches that we were playing the Clan Wars. Some of those matches I was just, slaughtering people. But what I've been watching, though, is I've been watching some of these guys online, and it's like, holy crap, these guys are playing against a whole bunch of noobs. Like everybody in the map is noobs except for them. Or they are playing at a different level than I am. So I'm guessing, because I'm seeing a lot of people who have prestiged 9 times now. There's just a guy who prestiged 9 times yesterday, in fact, in the headquarters here. I'm thinking to myself, it's got to be that these guys are just that much better than I am. I watch the World League and stuff like that, and these guys are good. Nothing fabulous. I don't feel like they're playing the game any differently than I am. I feel like they're just a little bit better at the game than I am. But anyway, so what I decided to do is to investigate doing something a little bit different and actually going exploring, well, how do I make the transition from keyboard and mouse to Xbox controller? And so that's what I've been working on. And it's just going to be an ongoing process, and you guys are going to witness it as I go along the way here. But I've got point 0.8 for today. This is the 30th of December in 2017. So we'll see how things go and see if that bumps up. If I can go from 3460 and 4104 to, let's say, 8,000 and 6,000, really swap around my kill death ratio for the next prestige level, or prestige level 2. Which I'm really close. You can see I'm 53 right now, so I just need 2 more levels and then I'm done, or 3 more levels, and then I'm done with prestiging at first time, and I'll prestige again. So anyway, what I'm getting at here is there was a guy video I was watching. His name is It's Nick. That's his channel, and he had some advice for how to boost your accuracy, how to get better at the game. And so one of the things that he talks about is, first of all, is make your own game. All right. So when you do your find match, you're actually going to go and say do a custom match with just bots. So it's all going to be local. You're not going to get any credit for it, which is fine. But you're going to be playing against the bots, and you're going to have an opportunity to really improve your game just by practicing. Just like any skill. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And, playing against people who are much, much better than you are is disheartening. When you walk out of a game with 5 and 20, you're like, why did I chew through the restraints this morning? Some days it's just not worth the effort. And those games where you end up with 15 and 10, you're like, yeah, that was pretty good, for a middling player. That was a really good game. I felt like I did a really good job there. So, but how can you improve upon that? How can you do better? And not just playing against worse players, because that's not only going to improve your game. If you go and you play a custom match against recruit bots all the time, you're not going to do that badly. When I play with my son, MJ Video Andrew, when we play, we play Black Ops 3, but we play against recruit bots. And for me, it's a cakewalk because there's 4 guys on my team, there's 6 guys on their team, plus my son. My son and I play on the same team, and it's a cakewalk. So it's not challenging. I'm not finding that it's easy to improve my skills by doing that. So I've been looking outside, and I stumbled upon this video from It's Nick. So the first thing is we're going to make a custom match. The second thing is we're going to make a custom match. But the first thing we're going to do. This is the tips and tricks part, and this will be going up on YouTube on my channel, on my Gizmo Devo channel on YouTube, is to change your settings around so that you are in a better place to be doing these things manually and building the skills, building those muscles that you need to build in order to be better at the game when you do play it for real. So the big thing here we're going to do is we're going to go into controls, and we're going to change some things around. So right now, if you look at your horizontal sensitivity, it's probably at medium 4. If you haven't touched it, it's at medium 4. That's actually going to be a little on the low side. And what you're going to find is that sometimes when you're fighting somebody, you're shooting them, and then they begin to turn, and you're trying to turn, and you're aiming down sights, you're turning down with them, and you can't get around fast enough, and they shoot you, they kill you, they shoot you in the back. So what they recommend, and by the way, I always invert my look. That's an old time Doom thing, and I have to do it that way. So the Doom and Quake. So anyway, so I'm going up to 7 because right now or you can go to insane is 14. Yeah, we're not going to go to 14. I might actually go to 8. I'm debating it. I'm going to stick at 7 for right now to kind of see how I do, and then let's see if that's good enough. And then if I can do better, then I'm going to bump it up even more than that. You'll see that I don't have anything on my controller. This is an elite controller. I don't have any buttons underneath yet because, again, that's a skill that I have to build to try to figure out how to push what button, and I'm sure I'm just going to be like, mash all the buttons. Die, just mash all the buttons. So I don't want to do that. I want to really introduce it very methodically, and like introduce one paddle that is switch weapon or whatever, so that I'm getting used to doing some things, rather than doing something else, rather than trying it all at once. The other thing is, he talks about this as sort of, he does spend quite some time on this, but it's sort of like an unspoken rule. Turn off controller vibration. When you're getting pummeled with anti-aircraft fire, or with artillery barrages or mortar rounds, it can be really hard to be trying to focus, to zoom your sights in on somebody when all that's happening, let alone the fact that the screen is shaking. So turn off the controller vibration. His comment was, and I'd be willing to bet this, is that there are no pro players, or very few, that have vibration turned on. They just don't even have it. It's why bother. So turn that off to give yourself even more control over the controller itself, to hopefully get. It's going to feel weird, obviously, because you've been used to it. When you get shot, or you get artillery or whatever, that it kind of shakes the controller. But if you turn that off, it's going to be a much smoother experience. Your likelihood of being able to keep aiming down sight, or even just keeping someone on your reticle, is going to be a lot higher. The other thing he recommends, for at least from the training perspective, is turning off this aim assist rotation and aim assist to slow down, so that it's going to slow down your aiming movement when you're over a target, and this one is going to rotate towards your target when you're in motion. So if you're running somewhere, if you're moving somewhere and someone's there, then it's going to help you get over there. This is saying don't do that. Let you figure out what you want to do. So it's going to be a little bit different. But anyway, so change those things up so that you have all the stuff available. Double check your stick layout. Make sure it's all right, and your button layout. Make sure that you understand what these things are, because sometimes, division skill. How many people are using their division skills on a regular basis? You may not even know it exists. If you are using the airborne, some of those things is like, that's a suppressor for your guns. And the other stuff is all just normal, like, sprinting longer distances, sprinting more often, hurdling obstacles faster. That stuff is just automatic. So you're not really getting a division skill. This is going to help you get that. Make sure you focus on those things. Obviously, if you've got multiple score streaks, then you can go up and down. And how many people do that? It's like I'm sitting somewhere and I call in a score streak, and it's like, oh yeah, well, you're going to call in your Molotov cocktails. I'm like, what? I wanted to call in the recon, or I called in recon, I wanted to call in the Molotovs, or artillery barrage, or whatever. If you stack up some of those things, it can be hard to know what you're actually going to be calling in, unless you're making sure that you get the right things selected. So, all right, so that's all your settings for your controller, and then you come back over here to find match. And then what he recommends, this is kind of funny, is, change your map over. I'm going to change my map over to something else. I'm going to do Ardennes, because why not? Mode can be whatever, but, team deathmatch is a pretty good one. Game rules for general settings is minimap. Make it not sweeping, because that's going to be like it is in gun game, where it updates infrequently. Make it constant, like you have a UAV in the air all the time. Number one, you don't have to worry about calling in score streaks for UAVs. Number two, get to see where everybody is. And that will become important in a minute when I tell you the next recommendation he had. I left in the announcer and the battle chatter and all that stuff. You don't have to, but is that you're going to do health and damage. You're going to change their health to 200%. This means you have to kill this guy twice before he dies. Which is going to really require you to be aiming at the center of mass, which is the body, as much as possible, because your likelihood of killing these guys is really low unless you're actually hitting them with almost every single round, which is what you're trying to improve, right? You're trying to improve your hit ratio, your accuracy percent of hits of bullets fired. So you want to improve that. You're going to focus on the center of mass. It's what our military does. It's kind of funny. It's one of those things that when you hear about all the zombie apocalypse, you will read World War Z, that book by Max Brooks. In the book, he talks about the fact that there's an interview with a guy who was in the army, and he said the problem is that all of their training is aim for the center of mass, and they got to do headshots on these zombies, and they can't do it. They're not used to it, and so making that shift is hard. And so they're pumping lead into these zombies that's just not doing any damage, because you just keep walking toward them. So within this game, though, of course, and this is because this is more reminiscent of how actual combat works. Center of mass is your best target. It's the biggest target. It requires more rounds. Obviously, a headshot's one shot, you're dead. But it is going to improve that. If you want to move up and you want to start doing those things, then you can start changing and say, hey, look, let's turn that off, or bump it back down and do headshots only. If you're doing headshots only, why aren't you playing zombies? Okay. Anyway, so there's that. And then the last thing is your bots. So make them recruit. So you're going to make them as easy as you can. But here's why. Because you're going to add in every single bot you can. You're going to add in 17 bots. So there's going to be 17 guys coming after your ass every time you spawn. And they know right where you are. So that's the funny thing. It's not like they're looking for you. They know where you are. And they are coming for you. And so you get swarmed pretty quickly, and it can be really hard to affect a good, cadence there of fire and run when you're getting swarmed out from multiple sides by bad guys. So anyway, so we're gonna give that a shot. I do want to just kind of play a quick match here. Hopefully this will work. Like I said, it crashed last time. But anyway, hope you're having a really good holiday season. Cheers. All righty. Team Deathmatch. All dead. All righty. And I did mention this in the last video. I forgot to mention it this time. Changing things up here at Shea Gizmo, trying a few things. We're putting the camera over here now. I've got my buddy Pikachu. We're gonna try to kill them all. He's got a little something on his cheek. Oh no! Let's get that off, shall we? There we go. Much better. We're gonna be playing around here, just trying to get some stuff done. But I do want to just kind of put a shout out there. Trying some things up. We're gonna see what we can do. Trying new stuff, and hopefully it's gonna work out. We'll find out.
Bring the war to them and bring it hard.
All right. So what I figured is that if I sat down in that area near that bunker, I was going to be dead in about 12 seconds. Ugh, Lordy. It's just bad shooting. Oh, I got the headshot anyway. Alright, that was just bad. Oh, I got the kill and then died. Alright, hold on. Oh, hello. There's somebody right here. Damn it. Did you see all those guys swarming me? It was so bad. Oh, yes. I got the kill off of that. That was nice. Ah, that's terrible. All right, 4 and 5. Suck and win really bad.
Breaking their backs.
Yeah. Forget that. Oh, got killed. All right. Breaking their backs. I think you and I have a different definition. Yeah. Oh, jeez. You notice the bots have a pretty good ability here to... Oh my god, really? Damn it. Ah, alright. So, when you kill somebody... helps if you actually shoot them. Ow, that really hurt. Oh, see, I knew right where he was. It didn't matter. Ah, jeez. Ah, crap. So I gotta say, you know, I'm not noticing the no recoil quite so much with this one. It's, you know, it's like you know, it's gonna feel really weird. You know, it doesn't really feel all that weird. Ah, come on, he was so almost dead. Come on, that was a very unforgiving hitbox. Ah, jeez. I'm staying just one kill ahead of everybody. Not helpful. Okay. That's fun. Oh, jeez. I managed to get one kill for every kill. Oh, man. Jeez, I told you that swarming thing is just killing you. Oh my gods. So I'm trying to not use the standard stuff like, you know, I'm not using any equipment. I'm not throwing grenades. I'm not. I'm just trying to see if I can do this to improve my accuracy firing weapons. I mean, that's the whole point, right? All right. Oh my God, that didn't even hit him at all. Which is terrible. Here he comes. Come on up. Boy, you were just really shifty there, boy. Oops, crap. Alright, fine. Screw you. Oh, it didn't even kill anybody. That sucked. Oh, jeez. That's just bad shooting. Alright, I might get lucky here, because... Gods. Alright, it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, I gotta say. Damn. Oh man, that was tied. Damn it. Yes, we are. Ah. I gotta get more than one kill to one kill. Wow, that really sucked. That was interesting. All right, down two. Still down two. Oh my God, it's 4 guys right there. Ah, see, that's why, because they have 200 health, remember.
Enemy recon aircraft observed.
And this, I suspect, is going to be the way it's going to be until I get really good at this. So when I can beat these guys on a regular basis, yeah, when I can beat these guys on a regular basis, then I think it's going to be, I'm doing pretty well. Got him. Wow, that was kind of surprising. Oh my gods. Then sometimes that happens. Anyway.
Enemy counter recon observed. Round our aircraft.
Oh, I got a kill, really? Color me surprised. Oh, come on! Down 6. Got it. Now remember, these guys are recruits, so like I said, though, I mean, think about it. The fact that, I mean, these guys are recruits, so it's like, I mean, you're not getting the best of the best here, and even then. Ah, wow. Hey, I caught up though. Down 3, yeah. So something else that he really recommended, sniped me. That was a good shot. Is focusing on, what do you call it? Jeez. Not reloading until after you have only 10 rounds left. So now, of course, with like someone like a Garand or something like that, where you've only got 7, it's not really going to matter. But you're going to be careful of not, what do you call it? Spending too much, of reloading too often, because a lot of times what will happen is that as you're playing, you'll end up getting killed while you're reloading. I mean, how many times has that happened to you? Certainly for me as a player, it happens a lot. So, one of the benefits I want to try to get here is, again, improving your gameplay. And so hopefully some of these tips will be useful to you, and that you can find the same value that I'm hoping to find in them. I will be posting up, I'll probably add a playlist on YouTube for these videos in which I'm kind of showing the tips and tricks and things that I'm doing. I don't have the Game Freak controller things, which I've heard like pretty much everybody has. Not because I don't want them, it's just I haven't, it's like, I kind of feel like I need to get relatively good at just playing the game before I decide to start moving up to the next level. I'm reminded of an article that I read where they talked about, there's a company like a gym, and they work with their clients to help them get fit. And this guy comes in, and they just said, "Look, I want to look better. I've got a little around the middle, and I want to improve that." They said, "Okay, great." And so they work with him, and he looks really good. I mean, he's down to a good body weight. His body fat percentage is nice. His BMI is healthy, and he's like, so he goes, I'm doing really well. I'm maintaining this. I've got a really good feel for this. He said, but how much more would I have to do in order to get like 6-pack abs? Because I've got a nice firm stomach and it's looking good and I feel good about my body. But I just want to go a little bit further and try to get those 6-pack abs, kind of thing. And the fitness coach said, yeah, well, so the problem is that there's like these plateaus, and to go from where you are to where you want to go is a whole different set of things. It's like, do you want to have pizza occasionally? Do you want to go out for a beer with your friends after work? If you want to have six pack abs, you're not doing that. So, and I kind of feel like the Game Freaks are sort of that level of thing. It's like if I can get my game to a point where I'm sort of plateauing with just the basic controller, then I'll look at bumping it up. But I'm not even. I don't think I'm even beginning to scratch the surface of what the Elite controller can do, let alone what one with all the doodads and gizmos and whiz bang doodle bobbers can do. So I think it's really important right now to simply focus on the core fundamentals, get those solid. I mean, any athlete will tell you that if you don't have your core fundamentals, then why bother? You need to have your fundamentals. You cannot build a great serve off of poor form. You can't build a good, receiving game in football without good hands. I mean, there's these things you have to have, and not that I'm saying that COD is a sport because it's not. It's a game. It's a fun game, and we all enjoy it. But what I am saying is that the same kinds of things that apply in sports. They also apply to any skills that you're trying to build, whether that's in software development. I mean, I was a software developer for years and years and years. I still write code in my copious free time, haha, because I love doing it. I think it's fun. There's things I want to do with my phone or games I want to play that do not exist, and so I have to make them in order to be able to play them. So for me, that's kind of where the key is. But if you don't practice, like for instance, software engineering, if you're not going to practice good coding practices, you're not going to practice good engineering practices, you're not going to do, you're going to write spaghetti code, you're not going to test it, all those things, then you're going to end up with a crappy product at the end of it, regardless what that product is. Whether it's just a G job that you're doing for fun, or whether it's something that you want to put in the app store or sell to somebody, if you're not doing those core things, it's going to be crap. And how you get better at that is you learn about it, you read about it, you study it, you figure out, you work on it every day, day in, day out, trying to improve it, hone your craft. And so, and even a game can be craftsmanship. Some of the people that I'm seeing are absolutely, I mean, when I play them, I'm just like, dude, I was on a level like so far above where everybody else is, man. Because I can recognize it. I mean, it's a lot of talent. It's a lot of time and energy that they've spent honing their craft. It was a craftsman at work, a genius at work in some of them. So anyway, for the just like I said, just some things. But I'm going to probably put this in as a playlist. Check for that playlist and kind of see how things go. See how I improve, if I improve, or if I get worse. I'd be kind of curious. I might track my KD over time, and then plot that up at some point and maybe show it on my video, just so people can see kind of, is this helping? I've been doing this for a week. Is my KD getting better? I've been doing this for a month. Is it getting better? There's going to be, there's a great maturity model for teams called Tuckman's maturity model, where they talk about every team goes through four different phases: forming, storming, norming, and performing. And I think it's actually applicable to almost anything. When you try to change something, like I said, when I was playing Quake 2 and I had to change from keyboard only to keyboard and mouse, there's a decline in your performance. Your performance is going to dip. You're going to take a hit while you're learning a new skill, while you're trying something different, while you are figuring out how this new nugget of information fits into your worldview. And it's critical that we be willing to accept that and not simply go back. I mean, I could have said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to go back and keep playing keyboard mouse or keyboard only. And I would have been stuck in the dark ages. I would have been discouraged from playing that game because I never would have done very well. In order to make that leap, I had to go and change my style of play. Just like I've had to change my style of play for going to console over playing PC. And I'm going to have to change my style of play and hone that style of play. I've gotten thousands of hours of playing on Call of Duty. I mean, thousands of hours. But I'm sort of plateauing. My KD isn't getting any better. I'm still struggling with some of the core concepts. Some of my fundamentals are weak. So what do? I skipped Advanced Warfare and I skipped Infinite Warfare. I didn't bother playing either of those games. And I think as a result, I definitely saw some degradation in my skill set. I did play Battlefield 1, but it's almost like a whole different game. It's different look schemes, it's different everything else, and so while I was doing pretty well there, it was again sort of building a whole different set of skills. It's sort of like, you play one game with look inversion on, and then you play the next game without it. I'm running into that with Fallout actually, and Borderlands, and it's driving me nuts. It's because I'll be playing Call of Duty and I'll be doing and then I'll go to Fallout. I'm just like, and my guy's just going. I just can't smack myself in my head with my rifles. I'm like, what the hell? I can't make it do what I want it to do. So it takes some time to figure out how to get all your pieces to work together properly. Whether it's your skills with figuring out when to reload, when to run and gun, when to sit and wait for your prey to come to you. One of the guys talked about. He goes, look, people are going to call it camping, and it is, but you're not. I mean, camping is like hanging out in one spot for the entire game. It's finding a spot, staying there, and waiting for people to come by, sort of like a trapdoor spider. That's a camper. If you like set up somewhere and somebody comes along and you kill them and then you move somewhere else, that's not camping. That's just, waiting for your enemy to show up. So there's some changes in play, and then also, I mean, the other challenge, of course, you have with Call of Duty is that you've got multiple classes. So the airborne style is very different than mountain. I mean, mountain is snipe. It is sit back at the edge of the field and look down with your scope and pick guys off, or run around and quick snipe if you can do that. I can't, and I'm a little surprised people do. Either the game is incredibly generous with the bounding boxes around the characters when you're spinning, when you're quick sniping, or these people are just godlike in their reflexes. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, so like I said, I really appreciate you joining and watching, and I hope that these tips are going to help you improve your game. Not everybody is a major league player, as a professional gamer. Just not everybody can be. Just like, but not everybody can be a professional football player or baseball player. Although I do have visions of, having the possibility of having done that when I was in high school, but, or starting that path when I was in high school. I took a different path, and that I'll never know. But at the same time, I think everybody has that sort of belief that they could be. I could have been a prima ballerina. I could have been, on Broadway. I could have been a great actor. I could have been whatever it is. Somebody feels that they have some skill, that they are world class or nearly world class. And you should. There's things about you that are really good. And hopefully Call of Duty is that for you. So I appreciate you coming along and joining in the fun, and hopefully this is going to be helpful for you. I am going to continue this Twitch broadcast. I'm going to stop it and start it up again in a few minutes. I got to take care of some business, but I am going to get this up on YouTube. So anyway, if you'd like to join Team Gizmo, please just drop me a line. Let me know. Would love to have you join in. You can see GZMO as the clan tag, so feel free to add that to your character. I'm very accommodating when it comes to people using my clan tag. Have at it. Go for it. Also, we do have some Team Gizmo gear that's going to be showing up here pretty soon. I've got a Team Gizmo shirt, my Gizmo DeVoe logo. And finally, been debating changing the name of the channel over to Gizmo Gaming rather than Gizmo DeVoe. Although at the same time, I am kind of doing some stuff where it's more about playing game design, not just about gaming. So debating that. If you have any insights, please drop a comment. Also, please subscribe. So you get information when I post up a new video. If you click the little bell icon, then you get notified when that happens. I'd love that. If you'll give me a thumbs up, I'd love that too. And I will see you on the other side. And until next time, cheers.